Patty from Quilt Smart. Today we are going to show you these adorable little fusible flat dolls. You are going to love them. So what we've got is it's a fabric layered, and what's so cool about it is you've got Velcroed clothing. So you can just add the clothing to the dolls like this, and they stick to their little undies that are made out of the loop side. So it is an adorable little pattern. You can see how absolutely creative you can get with that, and I'm excited to show you what we're doing with these. So here's what you get in a pack. You've got this nice instructions, and you've got simple to sew dolls with changeable clothes that you're going to be able to make inside. Got printed interfacing for girl, boy, pets, and clothes. These are really fun to make, and they're also fun to play with. You can see a couple examples on the cover there. There's a little pajama, the little dog, and a great complement to a little tea set. This is what the interfacing looks like, and the instructions inside are nice and clear. Go through step by step and give you some variations too. Here's what the interfacing looks like. When you unfold it, you can see that you've got 6 panels. You've got 2 clothes for each boy and girl, and a girl doll shown here, and a boy doll. And you've got different hair that you can select too, and an optional face, so that makes it really fun. In the side there are the little undies, which are made out of loop and hook, and also a cat. You can also, once you've had the pack, you can buy a refill pack in either the girl with her clothes or the boy with his clothes. So that's nice when you go to make more. And first you're going to select your fabric. Lots of different skin tones you can use. And on this one, I've fused down the little girl and just gently, roughly cut around the edges. You don't need to cut right on the lines. In fact, better not to. And I've fused that down on the wrong side of the fabric. If you want to use a face, you can cut out the face and just line the line up with the ears. Super easy to do, and fuse that down too. After you've fused that, you can flip it over on a light box, and the little face will show through, and you can use a pen to draw in the face. Or you could embroider that if you wanted to as well. I'm just using a little Pigma pen here. Now here's the undies that have been fused to the smooth side of a 2-inch piece of Velcro or hook and loop fastener, and now I'm just going to cut those out. Now when you cut them out, this one's the headpiece. If when you cut them out, the fusible printed interfacing comes apart, that's okay. You don't really have to keep that in. It's more of a pattern than anything else. I'm just cutting right on the solid line. So there's the headline piece. Now we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the Velcro pieces and stick those to the body, which is all cut out now. And here's the little bralette with the glue on it. And the glue is just really to hold them in place. It's nothing. We're going to stitch them down in any case. So the glue just helps position them and keep them in position while you're sewing. So after you've cut out all of your pieces from the hook and loop, and I did use the 2-inch Velcro brand, which I like, you just zigzag along the edges of all of the pieces, and you can choose whether or not to go along the side edges. They will be stitched later in the process, but at least on the inside of the little doll body, you want to zigzag along the raw edges there. Now you're going to layer the little doll with Annie's Soft and Stable and a back fabric and a thread that matches the skin tone fabric. And you're going to sew right around the edges, very close to the edge, just with a straight stitch, and then trim it even with the raw edges of the doll. And if you miss a little bit and cut in, don't worry too much, because the next step is going to be that we're going to zigzag the entire doll all the way around the edges. Note that I've used a cute little printed fabric for the back of the doll, so you can be a little creative in what you choose to do there. Also, some people will put a name of the little person that's going to get the doll, and will write that on the back. So there's lots of things you could do there. Now we're going to zigzag just with a very narrow and short stitch all the way around the edges, the raw edges of the entire doll through all the layers. And this will just give a little extra stability and security for the doll, because they're most likely going to be played with by little children. So here's the little completed doll, one of them. And now I'm just going to walk you through how to make the clothes. So what you're going to do is just fuse the little pattern to the wrong side of the fabric. And that's when you can also do some embellishing and use your gel pen or pigment pen to create the little pattern for the bow there. You could also stitch that if you wanted to. On the back piece, you're going to put a little piece of Velcro and a piece of fusible batting or thin batting. And then you're going to cut on the solid line around the pattern, right on the solid line. And then you put that, layer that, and then you stitch around it just like you did the doll. So just a straight stitch all the way around the edge, real close to the edge. And you can see how the Velcro will end up. You could use a fusible Velcro if you wanted to on the back instead of stitching it, but you do want to adhere strictly to the manufacturer's suggestions of 90 minutes. So after you have all that together, you trim around the edges. Oops, not 90 minutes, 90 seconds for that. 90 minutes would be a bit long. And trim around that. And now you're just going to zigzag around the edges, just like you did the doll. And here's the little completed doll with the little bow embellishment. And you can see how the dress just Velcros right to the little doll. Oh, and some hair. And how about some little shoes? And this is really getting fun. And there you go. All right, so here's the little doll we just made with the cute little stitched bow. And she's with her cat, and the cat was done by using the light box and the marker. So isn't that adorable? And look at that cute fabric with the little stripes. This little girl has a touch of pigment pen in her hair and some rhinestones. And look at these fancy boots. The boots are made out of leather and a rhinestone in the middle, and just a quickly stitched star and a little soul on there. So that's adorable. This is my husband's favorite team, and so you can do sports teams. This little guy just has a little bit of white hair, and again, you can use the Velcro for the hair if you wish, or you can make hair. This little guy, same thing. And look at what a Hawaiian shirt, isn't that adorable? And add some little stripes to the shoes, and you can see the beautiful little alternate things you can get. Here's another pair of leather ones, and look at the little khaki accents, little buttons on the shirt, and look at the fabric picked for the funky hair. This is one of my favorites, a little pajama set with little buttons for ducks, and of course the dog with his spots. He's just a heartbreaker little guy there. And then just some funky fabrics that you can get. You can make outfits or mismatched. The kids will put them together like this no matter what. There's one that was fussy cut with a little motif. Camouflage is great. And here's a little bow that's just glued on. Oh, and look at this. Talk about all of those stitches that you've been wanting to use on your machine that you have. This is a great use for those. And again, some little beads for buttons and some little fussy cut flowers. Little pocket stitching that you can do there too and around the t-shirt. So you will have a wonderful time doing this. I'm sure you'll be creative. Send us bunches of pictures.